What's up, guys? This is John.
This is Ben from Blackstone Cherry. You are watching the Backbeat Experience.
You are.
All music is the same. It's just a new set of lyrics and a new backbeat.
AndreGraziadei for the Backbeat Experience here today with two members of Blackstone Cherry, John and Ben.
Hello.
What's up?
Thanks for taking the time out to have a chat.
No problem.
You guys recorded Family Tree at the same place you recorded the first album. So it was kind of like a deja vu, or?
Well, what's funny is, so it was in the same town, Glasgow, Kentucky, with the same engineer. The studio is technically the same, just a different location.
Right.
Yeah.
In the same town. It literally moves probably 3 minutes down the road.
Okay.
But it was deja vu in the respect that the engineer we had worked with so many times in the past.
Yeah, actually, we did the first record, we did Kentucky, we did the Blues EP and Family Tree, all with that engineer, David Barrick.
Okay, but Chris produced this last effort.
We all produced it.
All did. All right.
He mixed it.
He mixed it.
He mixed all the sound and did a fabulous job.
We all kind of like have our niche,
right?
What the things that we excel at and what we do. This is the first thing we've had. Well, no, he did the Blues EP as well.
Yeah.
Chris mixed the Blues EP and he did a great job with that. And he mixed this record, and we didn't make it easy on him. We made him, I'm not going to give names or anything, but we made him do a spec mix. We had another very, very well-known, great mixer do a spec mix as well, and we put the two mixes side by side to see who was going to win.
Right.
And Chris nailed it, man. He just knocked it out of the park. He just did a great job.
Well, you guys are at a point where you know exactly what you want and what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but you guys went live to tape to capture the feel on this album. There wasn't too much background work, was there?
Well, what we did was we always record all together in the room.
Right.
You know, some of the stuff, especially on the blues, I'll talk about it, on the Blues EP, some of the solos and things were straight live off the cutting room floor.
Right.
So a lot of times we'll record together, keep the drums, go back in and redo guitars, you know. Just that way we can get good, clean tones. But sometimes some magic will happen, you know. That's why we all play together. Because John Fred will do a drum roll that we weren't expecting. Chris will do something, or somebody else will do something, and we're like, oh, that's great. That wasn't planned, but now we're going to kind of rewrite the song, so to speak, because
throw it in.
we captured some magic here. So
Right.
anytime we're in the studio where there's tape or record tracking straight to Pro Tools, we always do it all together, you know, because you never know what kind of vibe you're going to get, you know.
So you guys went back to the roots and recorded. You ventured off and you covered some blues tracks. Why only 6 tracks? Why not a full album?
Well, I'm probably responsible for that. I know.
I was about to say, it's been good to fess up.
John, the rest of the guys wanted to do a full length, and we could have easily done a full length, you know. But I think collectively we all agreed at the end that it was probably better just test the waters with this, with just 6. That way we can, because we knew we were still writing for the new album, and it would be coming shortly behind. So we didn't want to oversaturate ourselves with putting out too much music at once, you know. So we did 6. And then our idea is to just continue to do that in between each album, you know. That way it gives people just enough to make them go, oh, when are you going to do another one, you know?
Yeah.
So we have no problem picking from the pool of blues songs, you know. So hopefully we'll do another one of those at some point, and then, you know, keep putting them out, you know, because it went over, I mean, it was a #1 blues EP, and we never had expected that, you know, so it was pretty rewarding.
Every song that was released on it, going to like satellite radio, Sirius XM, and all that stuff on Bluesville, was going to #1, and we're just like, we did this to tide fans over.
Yeah, we did this as
that was a teaser, and it's like it took off.
We did this in 5 days, like
wow.
It took us no time at all. We just went in and picked our favorite blues songs, and we're like, let's do this. It's cool.
So it's really
well. Was that again sort of like a live to tape, like straight off the floor?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because a lot of we hadn't played those songs until we got in the studio together. Really, we knew which ones we wanted to do.
Right.
We worked up a little bit of our version of it, and we said, okay, let's record it. Yeah. Boom, it was done.
Yeah, we pretty much walked in with the concept in our brain, never having actually played it together. Just was like, do that. Just walked in and did it.
That works organically. The track "My Last Breath" happens to be the only ballad on the album. Was that reason behind that?
I mean, we never want to write ballads just for the sake of having a ballad.
Or some of your fans requesting them?
No, it was funny is, I mean, our fans love the ballads. ballads. They beg us to play a lot of the ballad songs we have, be it "Stay" or "You," or people love "Things My Father Said," "Peace Is Free," songs like that. But this one kind of came out, naturally, and we were like, man, that's such a powerful song, We kind of, the rest of the stuff we were writing was just more upbeat, So there was no reason to go, well, we need another one for the album, because we're really not playing that game anymore, It's like, if we have a gem of a song that's the standalone ballad, let that be the standalone ballad. Unless we just wrote one, but we didn't. We never force ourselves to go, we need to write a ballad, because then you've got a fake love song or something, and there's nothing worse than that.
Dancing in the Rain. What was the process with Warren? I mean, he's always out on the road. I mean, how did that come together?
We had the song written. We had met Warren years ago in New York, and we were showcasing for
a record deal.
A record deal. Yeah, this is years ago.
Yeah.
And then
it's the first voice we heard walking off the bus in New York.
Yeah.
He stepped off and
he noticed John Fred's dad. Yeah. And then Chris and I went and saw Government Mule last summer. Last year in Nashville, and we talked to Warren right before we went in the studio, and mentioned him maybe about doing something, and he said I'd love to. So we got in the studio, we recorded the song, and we said, man, this would be a perfect song to have Warren on it, because he could sing on it, he could play on it, whatever he wants to do. Called him up, and he said, sure, send it to me, I'd like to hear it. He said, he listened to the demo of it, he said, I love it, I'll do whatever you want. So we sent him all the tracks to his studio in Connecticut. And then he got on the phone with us and was asking what we wanted him to do. And we said, man,
do what you want.
It's your canvas. You do what you
do your
want,
thing.
And he sent it back, and he absolutely nailed it.
So he made a final cut in his own studio, so to speak.
We sent him the tracks, and he just played over top of it. We sent him the lyrics, and then he sang it. And was like, did I do okay? Is this what y'all want? And we're like, oh, this is great.
Damn.
yeah, it's done.
So, yes, it's
the amazing advantage of technology. The track, You Got the Blues, Chris's son was doing backup vocals on this? Did I get this right?
Yeah, if you listen to the intro, you'll hear the small child's voice.
And I listened to several times, I just couldn't pin it, but what's with the toy xylophone? Is that his?
No, but it's funny it goes. We were just experimenting a lot in the studio. We knew we wanted this album to have more percussion than the last albums. So we had that xylophone, and that wasn't even planned either. John Farrell was like, hey, this would be cool. So we put a mic on it. Simple as that.
Not?
And it did. It came out really cool. It kind of has this kind of tribe-y sounding thing at the beginning of it.
We've recorded some pretty odd things over the years
Yes,
on
we
different
have.
records, and a lot of it most people don't even recognize. When
Notice.
we hear it, it's one of the first things that sticks out to us, because we remember tracking it and what it was and how we got that particular sound and all that, which I'm not going to give any secrets away. I'm just saying it's not a new thing. We've been recording oddball, weird stuff and hiding it on records since day one.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Monster Truck is joining us for the interview.
Yeah, well, they're on their sound check. Ain't Nobody. When the track starts, it's very much a reminder of Zeppelin. I mean, you guys were steeped in that kind of music from the 70s.
Cool.
But that was that kind of a homage or some kind of conscious
No.
or subconscious?
Maybe subconscious. We never want to listen to a band and go, we might listen to a riff or a groove from a band and go,
Right.
"Man, we got to have a feel like that," but never to go, we need this to sound like this band, We were actually listening to more of, at that time, more of the Stones type, shuffle, boogie vibe. And
Stones, Black Crowes.
yeah. But the Zeppelin thing, that's cool, because it's all, people listen to it and interpret it in their own thing, so it's obviously a compliment.
It's a new kind of feeling. Who's playing keyboards on that? You guys don't have a keyboard player.
I know. There's a guy named Kevin McKendry, and he is a friend of ours and just insanely talented. He has a young son named Yates, who is
Also
phenomenally
insanely
talented.
Okay.
And Kevin plays for Brian Setzer's band.
Oh.
Yeah. So he plays with the orchestra and all that stuff, and he is just one of the best pianists. He can burn up piano, organ, whatever you want. So he lives in Nashville. We had him come to the studio, and he knocked out all of his songs in probably an hour, two maybe, and he's like,
something like that.
Wow.
He's so good. Yeah.
Amazing.
He sat down, talked to us for a minute, and was like, okay, with key, we do a lot of half-step tuning stuff. I remember we were talking, I can't remember what song it was, but it was a half-step tuned song, and he was just like, cool, great, so I get to be on my black keys for this entire song.
You Got the Blues. again, the end of it reminds me a bit of A Day in the Life from the Beatles. The sustained note.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a subconscious thing, but again,
Well,
it just
stuff like that's going to be subconscious. You know, it's not going to be something that we're like, oh, we have to do this to sound like this particular piece.
no, not at all. I was listening to it and that just came to mind. I went, oh, Day in the End.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
That's cool.
So it's probably like a subconscious homage.
Sure.
I'm not trying to say you're trying to copy something.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a nice carry-in.
We've always worn our influences on our sleeve,
Yeah.
so to speak. You know, so we're not trying to hide anything for sure. A lot of that stuff, you know, like Ben said earlier, it just happens.
Just happens.
You know, it's not an expected or on purpose thing. It's just the stuff comes out of us.
It's a nice candy. Put it that way.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
The track James Brown. Somehow I expected a bit more vibe out of that. When I hear the name James Brown, I was like, oh, no, funk it.
Right.
Well, there's, you know, we as much as we would want to try, we can never cop the vibe of James Brown.
Certainly not.
Yeah, completely different.
But yeah, that was a song. That was one of the first songs we actually wrote for the album. But you know, obviously James Brown and funk music like that, soul funk, is
Right.
Another big influence of ours. So it's just a fun song, you know. We've been doing it live, and it goes over great. Yeah, people like it.
Who was doing the backgrounds on that? The background vocals.
All the
That's John Fred.
And also on Ain't Nobody, there was always someone singing there. So.
Those we had a
because you don't have any women in your
Right.
band.
We had a couple of our friends
We do
come
in
down. Yeah. They're saying they nailed it too.
Yeah.
They did a great job, and they definitely have the soul in their voice, and they just, you know, we just let them roll with it, especially at the end, you know, where they're just kind of gone, and, you know, we love that.
So what do you do on stage? Have a MIDI?
You staying
try-
for the show tonight?
Yeah.
You'll see.
I'll see. All right.
We try to do it, yeah. We were
Surprise
on
me,
the way.
surprise me. Well, surprise. You guys do covers. I've seen Adele, Rolling in the Deep, and Mississippi Queen by Mountain. You guys keep that just for live shows, or would that wind up someday on an album somewhere?
Well,
Maybe
Mississippi,
a live album.
Mississippi
Queen was a B-side for Kentucky.
Yeah, it was on
Okay.
special edition.
Yeah, special edition.
Cool.
And then the Adele thing we never recorded. We do little snippets of covers.
I guess Download recorded it.
Yeah. You know, we do little snippets of covers live, you know. It's mostly just for live stuff, you know,
Yeah.
because we like to make the live shows an experience, you know, and catch people off guard. We did a new one last night that in the middle of a song that was just very spontaneous.
Yeah.
So you never know. I mean, it's fun to do that. And fans leave thinking, oh, that was cool. They threw that in the middle of that song, you know.
So, of course, you guys have a certain sense of humor, which was seen on the Improv Christmas Carols video.
Oh,
You
they
playing
did
guitar.
Yeah. That's been a minute. That's been a minute ago. Yeah, we like to.
Drums out of a cardboard box.
I'm sure. Yeah. We do. We don't take ourselves too seriously. I mean, you know.
Who should? It's rock and roll, man.
That's right. That's right. You got to have fun.
Definitely, and I'm sure you guys have, and it's been now what 17 years you guys have been at this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we've met in the past. And the
Yes,
first time
we
I
have.
met you guys was 2008
Yep.
in Stuttgart, very small venue.
Yep.
And then, you know, you guys are playing. It was huge things right now. I mean, you know, leaps and bounds. You guys have grown.
We're trying. You know, our goal is to just keep going and, you know, just spread our music, you know, and to as many people that want to listen to it.
Timeless music.
Thank you.
My last thing would be now word association. What's the first thing that comes to mind if I mention single malt whiskey?
Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, that says it all, I guess. Food?
Mexican.
Mexican.
I'm with him.
Okay.
I would.
No Chipotle though.
That Chola's okay.
Yeah.
I need a spread.
For me, it's Los Mariachis.
Yeah. It's
What would be your favorite German food?
oh, that's well. Of course, everybody wants to say schnitzel, but
But that's actually Austrian.
oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. We've commented on this tour how Germany. We look forward to German catering.
Right.
It's so
Yeah.
good every night. I mean, they don't
Actually
spare
said
on
the
the
other day-
potatoes, the meat.
I was telling our security guy AJ, I was like, this tour has been great the way it's been mapped out, because it's like we come to Germany, we take off and go somewhere else. Like we went up and did Sweden and Norway, back to Sweden, then back to Germany, and then over to Prague, and then back to Germany. It's like we're using Germany as like a central hub, which is great because it's like great food. You never know what you're gonna get. You come back to great food. You never know what you're gonna get.
There's always something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Sports.
That's hard. Probably basketball. I'm not a huge baseball fan. Grew up playing baseball, but I follow Kentucky Wildcats. So
Okay.
basketball. That's more intense than baseball.
Really? Yeah, baseball is kind of like long and drawn out.
Baseball
It's
is
the American
slightly
pastime,
more
but-
exciting version of golf.
Right.
I do love
I'll agree with that. Outer space.
Awesome.
Star Wars.
Cool. All right. That's 40 years on, but that's okay. Film.
Favorite film, or just film?
Whatever comes to mind. You hear the word film.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Curious Case
Classic.
of Benjamin Button.
That's it, okay.
Oh, that's like two opposites.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Well, Ben, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
John,
Absolutely.
thanks. I just got one.